Uh-oh. Oh.
Hello and welcome to a new edition of Interview with Irene. Today, my lovely guest is the beautiful Meggie Maddock, who is an actress based in Colorado, and she's just incredible. I've seen two of her movies, which might seem totally different. One is a horror movie, and the other was actually a Christian-inspired movie, but just goes to show she has incredible range because she can act in anything. So, welcome, Maggie. So happy to have you today.
Well, that was a nice intro. I feel very humbled and you're beautiful as well. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. So, could we begin by you telling us a little bit about your background and how you got into acting?
Yes, I'll try to make it kind of short. Uh, well, it started when I was in third grade and I was bullied by a girl who called me fat every single day. And so my mom used to put me in the middle or in the front of the mirror and she says, "Look at yourself. You are beautiful." And she would repeat this to me so that it would get through my brain. So then I was at a basketball camp, fast forward. I played a lot of sports. I'm a huge athlete. And I was at a basketball camp and she pulled me out and she said, "No, you're going to come over here and you're going to just try this audition." So I auditioned for the movie The Great Expectations. I never had acted really in my entire life, for the little girl. And I made it to the third round out of four. And that really is what sparked my interest. And in high school, it was really hard to do acting. My sister was at the Columbine High School shooting, and we lost our basketball coach, and we went through a really, really hard time in high school. So I, continued to play sports with my sister. I did everything that she did because she was she's 18 months older than me, and she's one of my best friends. And I took one class in high school. And then in college, I had some friends who were in film school and asked me to be a part of their films. So I said, of course. And then lastly, my mother asked me to be Marilyn Monroe for Halloween. She begged me. I didn't know why. I was like, okay, Mom, whatever you want me to do. So I did. And then Channel 4 saw it, Chris Parente here in Denver, Colorado, and they asked me to come do their Oscar party. And I met somebody who was taking an acting class, and then it was all over from there. I worked really hard for 2 years, took classes, and fell in love with it. Worked over my nerves, holding a script and, shaking because I knew I wanted to do it. I'm an athlete, so I'm a very kinesthetic kind of person, and I just need to do it to get in my own shoes. And I kind of came out of my shell and fell in love with it. So.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. So, and how do you choose the roles that you play?
How do I? Well, it's hard because as an actor, I like to play diverse roles. I don't like to be pigeonholed as just Marilyn Monroe vintage style. Obviously, if you can see the movie Eat, it's very, very, very on the other side of Marilyn Monroe. And I like to play roles that are challenging. I like to play roles that people could not. I mean, if you look at me, you wouldn't see me playing that role, but I like to transform. I like to be the chameleon where I can be a bald-headed sci-fi film or the tough chick or the victim. And so I think when I see a role that inspires me, that's how I choose it. It has to inspire something within.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So, and you talked about a little bit about sports. So, what are your favorite sports to play?
What are mine?
Yeah.
Well, basketball. I think
Yeah.
Spalding and Wilson were my first boyfriends. next to my Ken Barbie doll.
Uh-huh.
um, it's kind of funny because my dad was a mountain guy and loved fishing and hiking, so he'd always make, he'd always fight to keep us tomboys, where my mother was like trying to make us princesses. So it was a good mix, because we're from Colorado.
Right.
And I love softball. I played softball in high school. I was a catcher. I was MVP for basketball and softball. And I played golf. And, my mom always said, just follow the beer cart. Golf is kind of hard. And I love salsa dancing. I love yoga. Actually, I just love anything that really makes me, active. So I love any sports. It's challenging, right? Do you play
Wonderful.
sports?
Um, Not really, but I try to go to the gym and I try
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
like in this, I'm in Chicago, so the winter, well, in Colorado too are very rough, but the summers are gorgeous, so I try to walk and do other activities
Oh, yeah.
outside when I can.
So is it cold there too, like it is here? It's freezing here in Colorado today.
Yeah, it's supposed to be snowing tonight.
Yeah,
Uh,
us too.
But, but I shouldn't complain because you guys, like, I remember that one day they were saying you were in the 80s in the morning and 20s at night. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I will never complain about changing weather in Chicago again.
But it's freezing in Chicago. It's really chilly in Chicago. But the funny thing is about Colorado, people think that Colorado is one of the craziest snowy states, which is true in the mountains, but in the city of Denver, it could be snowing. I call it the bipolar state. It could be snowing at 10 o'clock, and then at 2 o'clock, it's all sunny and shiny and bright, and the roads are clear. So Colorado just can't ever make up its mind what it wants to do.
Yeah. I've been there twice and I absolutely love it. I would look forward to an opportunity to coming again.
Yes, and when you do, we're grabbing lunch.
Oh, of course, yes. So, any other hobbies too?
Any other happy?
Hobbies besides sports?
Oh, hobbies. Oh, yes. I love photography. I went to school for photojournalism, well, basically visual communications, and I speak Spanish. I lived in Guadalajara, Mexico, and so todos mis amigos me llaman Margarita, which is sometimes why I have to slow down because in Spanish you speak really, really fast, and plus my mind goes a mile a minute a lot, so I'm working on slowing down so people can understand me when I speak. What else do I like? I love my dogs. I have seven, five, seven.
Oh.
I have a lot of dogs. I love dogs. It's like a problem. My little puppies. Yeah, and aviation. Like I said, I work in aviation. I work for a private hangar, and I've been managing here for help managing here for 12 years. I fell into aviation because of my sister. She's a pilot and she also works in business aviation. She's the Northeast Director for NBAA, which is National Aviation or National National Business Aviation Association. So, yeah,
Yes, that's
I like
wonderful.
to salsa dance. That's
Oh,
one of my
yeah.
favorites. Yeah, I love salsa dancing.
And I always keep meaning to get into it too. So,
Fun. You
yeah.
should definitely. And yoga. Yoga is amazing.
Right. Actually, this summer they had yoga at the Adler Planetarium, so I went with a friend at 6 in the morning.
Did you go?
I know it was, yeah, we had a great time.
Oh, how
Good way
fun.
to start the day, yes.
Oh,
So,
I love you. I love hot yoga, but at the aquarium that would be amazing.
right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. wonderful. And any advice for future actors and actresses?
Oh, do I? Um, well, one of my favorites is you'll always get a zit the day you're gonna a zit the day you're gonna film.
Right.
I think the truest thing that I could say is just always be yourself. This industry can make you feel very desperate. It can make you feel like you're not doing enough, that you aren't enough, and I think all of us actors struggle at some point with feeling, reminding ourselves that we are enough, that we can if one role isn't right for you and they pass on you, or you don't get the role, well, that doesn't mean that there's not another role waiting for you. So I think my best advice is just, my favorite word is next. If you go to an audition and you have a good time, then you love what you do and you're just enjoying it, then you're going to continue in this career. You're going to go places when it's your time, and the role's meant for you. It's going to be yours. So I always say next. If I don't get it, sometimes I don't even remember what my friends would be like. Did you get this audition? I'm like, which one? Because I just go have fun, and then I come, and then I'm like, okay, next. Let's see. If I get the role, yes, awesome. So I think being true to yourself. This industry is definitely a longevity career. I think also it's very important to have a balance, have a family, have a home life, have other hobbies that you like to do. But I always say I have a job and I have a career, right? So my job's great, but my career is where my heart and my passion is. So, and it's okay to take some time out sometimes if you need to have more, if you need to refine your passion again. It's okay to take a step and say, I just need a couple weeks, or you know what I mean? And I think that's hard as actors because we feel like we always have to be on par, and it is important, but it's also important to have self-love and to fill yourself up and to be able to be fulfilled here so you can give to other people through your
I,
performance.
I agree. That's
Yeah.
incredible. So,
It's not always easy. I mean, we struggle, actors struggle. Oh, and one more thing. I think I struggled a lot this last year. I did a film, and I've always been very fit and active, and this may be crazy, but I put on a lot of weight because I had some hormone issues and I had some thyroid issues. But what it taught me is that that's okay. I watched this film that I did because I was so devastated. I was like, I don't want to go see this film, but it was such a beautiful film because it was about breast cancer. And what I found was that when I went there, I looked at myself and I was like, wow, I don't even see myself in this. This is me actually, like I was the character. I didn't see myself as that person. But again, I also found a lot of self-love. Like I'm sometimes, what happens if I put on weight? Well, I can play this character. And so I feel like I let go of a lot of that ideas of perfectionism, that I'm not good enough because I put on weight. And but it actually was so beautiful because it worked out so great for the role. So I think that's another thing, is just really honoring and loving and accepting where you are at in your life and who you are, and bringing that to your roles.
and
There's
that's
a lot.
very well. No, that's incredible. That's like one of the most important messages I heard in a long time.
Oh,
So thank
thank you. Chills too.
you. And well, thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll have you
I
again.
would love that. Thank you so much. Maybe next time we can both be in Denver and we can just,
or,
do the
or,
catch up.
or come here to Chicago and then I'll treat you too.
I would love that. I would
Yeah,
love that.
yeah,
It just not when it's cold, but then we can have some pizza because I
yeah.
have still yet to have Chicago pizza.
Oh, I can like treat you to Dino, Eastwood, hit all the big places. All right.
Well,
Well,
thank you for working with my crazy schedule. I
of
appreciate you. I
course, thank you for coming on, and thank you. And I'll see you next time on Interview with Irene. Bye.
bye.
And